Yeah, U3, live from the underground.
There we go. There we go.
Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tune in to U3 Underground Unsigned and Unknown. And we have a guest tonight, Mr. J. Irve. Is that how you pronounce your last name? How you pronounce
Irv,
it?
yeah,
J. Irv.
or you call
From
J.E.,
Michigan all
whatever
the way
you,
to Chicago,
yeah,
Chi-Town.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
up there where it's cold.
yeah, that's it,
How are you doing
yeah.
today, sir?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, and I appreciate it. I wish I had some of that
Yes, I
Texas
want to
weather
give a
right
shout
now.
out to one of my. He helps me a lot with my radio, Richard Hunter. He introduced me to your music, so shout
Oh,
out to
okay, okay. Shout out
Richard
to
Hunter.
him.
Introduced me to
Shout
your
out to
music.
Richard Hunter. I appreciate that, bro.
Now, since you are from Michigan and you moved to Chicago, how is the music scene different from each state? Because I know it's different.
Yeah, it
Michigan.
is different. So, I like
So,
to call. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt that? So no, well, Michigan and Chicago, um, the Midwest in general, it's like we take a lot of elements from the different coasts, but Chicago has like totally has its own sound, and Michigan has its own sound. So Chicago is a lot of drill music out here. They're doing a lot of drill, heavy drill, and that's really the sound of Chicago. But with Michigan, I kind of think you with Michigan, depending on where you are, there's different pockets. So in Detroit, Detroit area, they have like a heavy hip hop influence. Even where I'm from, it's heavy hip hop. But then also you got a lot of people that's doing different genres of rap and hip hop. So I like to think of Michigan as being influenced by all the coast, and we just mix it up and make our own sound. So that's the kind of the difference, right, as I
which
see
one?
it right
Which
now.
did you like more living in? What do you like more living in Michigan,
Uh,
Chicago?
Michigan, I like Chicago, Chi-Town. There's a lot of creative people out here. There's a lot of dope artists out here. But it's nothing like just being at home and kind of back over there. I'm just the element, the sound, like I said, the vibe is just a little bit different. Chicago is they're kind of really what's the word I'm looking for? Chicago kind of just sticks with its own. It's not like really inviting for like outsiders. But like I said, they have their own sound and it's cool. And I have met some cool people out here that I vibe with, but it's nothing like home. So I think I like the home scene a little bit more. It's a little bit, um, I don't know, it's just a little bit more collaborative, I guess I say.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the music you make. How would you
Okay.
describe the music?
Hmm. Just okay. So our label in general, Charles and Trimble, I like it. I think it's a great blend because we got that turn up music for people. We got that. We got some like just the hip hop vibe for people who is into that. I'm also looking at some other artists, like some world music artists with the reggae Jamaican feel. So when I started my label here this year, I had a intention and purpose that we didn't have just one sound. I didn't want just a rap label. I wanted a label that can attract people, just world music. So I want to have some R&B. I want to get with some maybe a rock vibe. But right now, as we stand, we got that turn up and we got that hip hop right now. So we're building on that sound. But right now, that's what we're rolling with.
What made you want to start a label, and what kind of artists do you look for when it comes to joining your label? I'm not talking about sound wise. I'm talking about just like
Mhm.
ethic
That
wise.
what they have as far as what they possess. Yeah, what made me start a label is just I've been an artist for so long, and although I love that, I just saw so many like younger artists that's under me, a generation two under me. I just saw them not really having any direction. So they knew how they mastered their sound, but they always, people always think, well, how do I get my video played, or how do I get how do I set up shows, or how do I publish my music? How do I get my music kind of in licensed in films and things like that? So I saw an area where I had an expertise as an artist for all this time. And I just said, look, at some point you just want to boss up. And I just feel like, I just made that move to boss up. And I was like, why not start a label? And the whole kind of idea of my label is family. Like everybody that's down with the label is just part of this bigger family.
Yeah.
And the artists I look for mostly is just somebody that's working hard and grinding. Like they don't have to have 10,000 followers, or they don't have to have sold all these records. It's just I look for somebody has integrity, that's being themselves and that's real, that's real about what they're doing. They have a purpose in what they're doing. And also somebody that's just a hard worker. I always say hard work always beats talent, because a lot of people will just get with talent, they just get kind of, what would I say? So they get satisfied with their talent. So they don't
Yeah.
work as hard. So I'm looking for people that just want to work hard, they want to just grind, and they want to grind and build with the label, just like we're growing every day. So that's what I'm looking for in an artist.
Why do you feel like some of the OGs in the music industry do not want to mentor the younger kids? Do you feel
Mm,
like it's a disconnect in the music that they
yeah.
make?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I think there is a disconnect, but also I think there's a lot of jealousy, and like me being of that generation, the OG generation. There's a lot of us who don't want to reach back because we're like, we're not really feeling that sound, or we don't know what the hell they're talking about, or like we don't take the time. I think we have to come to the table, because I think there are a lot of young artists that want to vibe with the OGs and learn some game from the OGs, but a lot of times we kind of standoffish because I think we don't understand their vibe as much. But you have to really kind of open up your ear and open up your mind and say, look, this is what they're vibing to. Let me see how I can get in where I fit in with this. And I just think is a lot of the OGs, we didn't have a lot of the opportunities. I'll say we didn't have the social
Yeah.
media popping off. We didn't have, the crazy everything that was popping off technology wise right now back then. So and a lot of us didn't know the game so a lot of the young heads is coming in, they want ownership. And that's why I try to preach, like they want to own their music. Whereas back then we were looking to get signed. So it's a whole different mindset, right? And so I feel
Yeah.
that's why there's a disconnect with the old and the young. And so the younger artists are like, oh, y'all don't want to rock with us? Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Y'all move out the way. Y'all time is over. So I feel like we can work together. We can just bring our own, just bring our own vibe to the situation.
What do you offer in your label that stands out from other labels? Because a lot of these major labels are handing out deals that, again, a lot of artists like in trouble or they're not liking it, like that
Yeah,
Megan Thee Stallion deal we all heard about.
yeah,
How
yeah,
Tommy.
yeah,
So, what do you
yeah,
offer that makes it different, or that makes
yeah.
artists comfortable coming to you?
Well, so just to clarify, like I'm not a record label, I'm a management label. I think
Management
people get
label.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a management. So
So,
I
what do
do
you offer as a
management from the
management
management
label that
side.
makes you stand out from other management labels? Because I
Yeah.
know a lot of artists, the first thing they want to ask someone that wants to manage them is, "What can you offer me? What can you do that I'm not
Right.
doing myself?"
Right. Well, so like I said, what I want to do is empower people. And it sounds crazy because once you empower people, they want to go off and do their own. But my idea is what I want to do is I found a lot of managers, they want to keep the artists under their thumb. They want to keep them dumb and uneducated about this business.
Yeah.
But what I said coming in, I feel like where I fit in and where I bridge that gap is I want to teach you the business. I want to teach you to be a boss of your own. I want to teach you publishing so you know how to get paid on your music. I want to teach you how to license your music so you can get your music in films. I want to teach you this, the part of the game on how to write songs, how to structure songs, how to do hooks. I want to teach people that just to empower them. And I feel that's what makes me different, because a lot of people, record companies included, they don't empower the artists because they want to keep them under their thumb. They want to keep them right under them. And I'm saying, look, I'm telling these people, like, you come along with me for the ride, we both get that bag. But eventually you're going to go off and do something and you pay it forward. You do that for the next person. So that's all I'm trying to do in my role.
I like that. I really do.
Yeah.
What advice can you give someone who wants to become a manager? Like the top 3 things they should know or have to help
Yeah.
artists who want to become a manager?
Top 3 things. I would say you would need to read it, really research. You have to research because this game is always changing. So you have to really research and study what's going on right now, what's hot right now. You have to keep your ear to the street, as they say. You have to really have a great ear for music and talent. You have to also be somebody that people trust, that you got to have integrity, and the only reason why
Yeah.
artists have come to me is you have to have integrity in this game. You know, it's too bad because it was a time you could just do a handshake deal with somebody and that man or that woman would keep their word, you keep your word. And I just feel like as an artist in the past, I've just been burnt so many times because when you're real, you expect the next person to be real.
Yeah.
And this business is grimy. So you have to have integrity also. And I say another thing you have to do is you just have to be able to, you have to be an organized person. So when I say that, my organization, I have an A&R person, I have a PR person, and you just have to know how to delegate different things. Now, as the manager and owner of my company, of course, I get the final say, the green light of situation, but also I can't do it by myself. I need other people, I need other pieces to help me, help me be a success. So I think you have to have organizational skills, you have to have integrity, and you also have to have an ear to the street. So those are the three things I'd say.
Do you make your artists sign management contracts? Because I always understood. I always wanted to know how that worked. Do managers sign contracts too?
Yeah, we sign contract. Well, you mean with the artist signing with
Yes, with
me?
the
Like,
artist,
yeah, I
kind of
signed a man.
like with the management.
Yeah, we signed a management contract. So first of all, before I take on an artist, I want to sit them down and say, hey, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve? What do you want to do? And like I said, they don't have a direction, and we try to say, okay, narrow this vision down. What is your vision? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay on this level? Do you just want to, just be one of those artists that's, what kind of music do you make? What do you have a sound? That kind of thing. And also, so yeah, I do sign management contracts. And it basically, we have the percentages on there, what percentages the company will make versus what percentage the artist will have, what I will do for the artist, what's expected of them, all the way down the line. Like every little thing is covered. And we negotiate. Like if there's something in there that they don't like, then we bring it back to the table and say, okay, can we live with this? So as a manager, when I'm taking on an artist, I usually have a vision for them after I hear them. After I hear the sound, I'm like, okay, this artist, I can see this artist doing big things with this audience, or they have a wider audience or whatever. So my goal when I sign an artist is I want them to already have something popping. I want them to already have something going. Like, I don't want to make somebody like totally have to make their image and make their direction and make their
Yeah,
sound. That's what my A&R does. That's for an A&R to do. That's why I hired an A&R to work with an artist who's not quite there yet. But when artists like steps to me, I want them to already have some, a direction like, okay, this is the kind of music I'm doing, Jay. So that's what I want to run with. And then, if I can see that vision, then let's run with that. So yeah, I do sign management contracts, and pretty much they're just percentages. And they're basically saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you as a company, and this is what I expect from you as an artist. So that's pretty much how that goes, to simplify it.
do you ever try to change a artist sound? Because I've seen managers who want to manage an artist, or they
Mm-hmm.
like, I kind of want to manage you, but I feel like you should sound like this.
Mm. No, you know what? As an
Because
artist, see,
as
I
a
think that's
manager,
that's
right, that sound is
yeah,
what brought you to that artist.
right. That's exactly right. Now, I'm
That's
just
what
gonna
I'm
say
assuming.
also, as an artist, as an artist myself, and I still do music. I don't want to. I want them to have the artistic freedom, so to speak. But if there are some things in there that we just need to, as far as narrow, alter, or like we need something. Okay, well, if we're looking for something, maybe I'll step in if it's like a hook or something like that, or whatever. But if they come with me with a sound, and I'm already digging the sound, I don't want to change that. I want to change who
Yeah,
they are. But and I feel like it's important because when you start doing that, then it's not as authentic, and I want artists that's just authentically themselves. So yeah,
I
I don't.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed lately that
Mhm.
singles is where it's at. A
Right.
lot of artists are just dropping singles. They're not worried about albums. They're not worried about mixtapes, EPs, just single, single, single. Do you feel like that's where it's at? Do you feel like this is gonna pass? Do you feel like this is just a phase?
Mm, yeah, it's funny because I really used to believe in just the whole album format, but that's where it's going with the singles, and I think that's because labels don't want to invest they want to make sure artists is marketable before they invest in the whole album, right?
Yeah.
So I believe in that. So when you have a single like the single that we're ramping up right now to push, do what I want, we're going to push that for probably 6 months, right? And that's usually like the cycle of a single. So that's kind of where the trend is, and people are not really gravitating towards a whole project anymore until they hear for a couple songs first and say, okay, it's safe to go ahead and get this whole thing, if they purchase it at all, because you know how the game is, nobody wants to, buy albums like that anymore. But okay, thought we froze up for a second. But yeah, no, I think singles are. I think it's something that's here to stay, because just the format of what the industry is now is different. They just want to do singles now, and they want to make sure somebody's marketable before they put money in that next thing.
And then after all the singles are dropped, they drop the album with the singles on it that we already heard.
Right. And the videos, right? So
exactly.
yeah.
About how long should an artist push a single before they drop another one? Like an average time frame.
So I've been guilty of not pushing things long enough, but as I see it right now, because you have so much competition with radio, satellite radio, internet, TikTok, iCloud, IG,
all that.
You have to push a single in my opinion, 6 months at least. One single for it to break through, because they got so many, like if you're listening to, for example, the big stations out here is GCI, right? They play a song, and no lie, they play it about 15 times a day. So, you have that repetition is what actually gets people, if people keep seeing it everywhere, they keep seeing it, keep sharing it, then eventually, and I know myself too, I'll say, hey, what's up with this? I keep seeing this. So I think a lot of us are guilty of not pushing something long enough. And I know I've been there too, but if you have to push it at least 6 months, I think, for it to break through into people's subconscious, and so they can actually say, oh, this is something that might be good. Let me click on it.
Okay, I like that. How has COVID been treating you? Have you been slowed down the work a little bit, or is it still the same?
It has, as far as shows. So with what we do, a lot of the income comes from shows.
Yes.
So it's slowed down a lot of that for the first 6 months of this year, 7, 8 months of this year. So we're just now back where my Trey Bands is, and Royalty of the North. Trey Bands is a solo artist, but he rocks with Royalty of the North and part of the group. They're just now doing shows, so they're on the road now. They got a show in Atlanta, but for a while it was really slow. I think things started to speed up here in the last probably month or so, where people are feel safe to go outside and do shows and set things up. But as far as like the bigger shows, I think there's just, it has affected it. You can't get around it because a lot of arenas won't lease out their facilities, because they're like, hey, we don't want to be liable on the hook for people getting sick. And it's, so yes, it's slow right now. So a lot of the game right now is online.
Yeah, I know how it is. It's the same way down here. A lot of places are slowly trying to open back up, but not fully.
Yeah. And I think it's weird. It's wild because every place has different. Like I got a promoter out of California that I work with, and he's telling me, oh, wow, everything out here is pretty much shut down. And, they had to reissue their shutdown. They opened back up and they had to reissue their shutdown.
The fires too.
Right, and the fires, right. And like Florida is different than Michigan, and Michigan is different than Kentucky. I'm sure Kentucky is different than what Texas is going on, because everybody's got different regulations and we got phases. Like out here in Illinois, what we're like in phase 3 or 4. And like when we get to phase 5, they totally open everything back up. But here recently, they had to scale it back. So it's tricky. It's tricky what you can actually do right now.
Yeah, it is. It is very tricky. It's just, a lot of places are open and some are closed.
Yeah. They just started. They just started now. They're going to open bars or leave bars open until, or they say you can serve drinks till 1 o'clock here. So that means the bars can be open probably until 2. So they're just slowly but surely opening the bars back up, and they may be venues where we can do shows at. So
now, since COVID, a lot of people can't perform, like you said, at the bars are closed. Are y'all
Yeah,
have y'all decided to do like an online streaming thing? Or you
yeah,
don't know yet?
yeah. We're trying to put one of those together. We actually did one. We did like a outdoor block party where it wasn't streamed, but it was just pre-recorded, and we did that. That was back in the end of July. So, but yeah, we are looking at putting together, like everybody's doing it now in the industry, right? Like streaming their own shows. So I think that would be a great idea, and that way you can control, you can kind of control the whole show and put it together how you want to put it together.
Yeah.
But I think that, and I really actually think that's kind of the future now. I mean, a lot of people, you can profit off of that if you put together a nice production off of a show, and you got enough audience that tunes in, and you know you can actually profit off of that situation. So I think that's the wave of the future now, because COVID has made us be way more creative with what we do.
Let's talk about the single you're pushing. You told us about
Yeah,
it. Do what you want, right?
yeah.
Do
Do
what
what
I
I
want.
want. Do what I
Do what
want.
I
Yeah,
want. Let's tell
yeah,
us a
yeah.
bit about that. Tell us about the artist on the track. Tell us what
Mm.
kind of vibe it is for people who haven't heard it.
Yeah. So Trey Bands, as I mentioned, is an artist that I manage, and a lot of his music is like party turn up. I feel like he's a great artist. I feel like he's a star. His stage presence is like, on another level. So he originally recorded the song, and we were looking for a collaboration for it. And so we had a young lady out in New York who was originally going to be on it, but the negotiations kind of fell through for that. So I was online looking one day, and I was just looking around because I'm always recruiting and scouting artists, and I'll come across a young lady by the name of Alyssa Blair, and she's out of Indiana, and I liked her sound, I liked her vibe. She had sauce, and I was like, okay, let me check her out. So heard some of her stuff, and I was thinking like I thought in mind like, well, she would sound good on this song with Trey Bands. We need another artist for this. So talked to Lissa. She was with it. She actually was already a Trey Bands fan. She's like, oh, I had heard his music and I always want to work with him. So it worked well. She came out here, dropped the song in the studio. We mixed it down, and after that, we just planned to do a video. So we just dropped a video this past Friday. So the video will be coming here within the next few weeks. So people need to keep an eye out for that. Do What I
Dope.
Want, Trey Bands featuring Lissa Blair. And so the song is pretty much just a turn up. It's a vibe. It's a wave. And I think people are really liking it.
Is it out on all platforms already?
Not yet. Not yet. We
Like,
haven't released it yet. We're just trying to set it up. We're just trying to build anticipation for it and build up the,
okay. So we get the
face.
first exclusive
Yeah,
with it.
this is the first listen. This is the
First
first
is
listen.
listen. So after this interview,
Yes.
I will have it playing so you can get the first listen to the
Yes.
song
Yes.
or the officially
Yes.
vibe sweat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
heard it and it's a vibe. So you're gonna like it. I like it. I heard it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vibe.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Really do.
I feel like we need more club music with times like this. Everyone's stuck in the house. We can still
Yeah.
have a good time. We can still dance. House
There you
club.
go.
What they call it? House quarantine club.
Yeah.
House quarantine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still
We still
fun.
need that. We so need that music. We need some music that, and also not only to turn up, we need some music we can just feel, just, and that's what I'm really trying to do. I was like, okay, we can't play the game out like we normally do. So let's bring the game and the vibe to people. And so we really, we really pride ourselves on making good music, for everybody. So I'm glad you vibing with the song, and yeah, it's just a good feeling. I hope other people is digging it too.
How do you determine which artists to manage? I mean, not to manage, which artists to push projects for, like
Mm,
singles, albums. How do you manage that? Because I know working with
uh,
multiple artists sometimes it can be hard.
yeah, well, I look at who's ready. In my case, it just so happens like Trey Bands was the first artist that I signed, and then I signed a group after that, and then I have a group we call Eternal Might. We're dropping something here later on. Eternal Might. We're dropping around December. But what I look for is in an artist. He was just, he was an artist. He actually asked me to manage him. It's funny because before this year, I never even thought about being a manager. I was just strictly like tunnel vision, like I just want to be an artist. But then I was looking like, there's other things I can give to the game. And I can still make music, but I can still guide young artists. So I think it was easy with Trey Benz because I had saw him perform before. I always thought he was dope. I've been on the same like bill with him performing, and he was just like, look, you're OG. People speak highly of you. Can you manage me? Man, and I never thought of it until he kind of pulled my collar to that, and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let me build this company structure up. So it was easy. But what I'm looking for, like I said, is just different things and different people I look for. Like I'm not looking for. Again, I mentioned I just don't want to be a manager that's known for just managing one kind of artist. Like
Yeah.
I like the fact that, I want to be on I like the fact that when you look at somebody like it was an unexpected move. You look at somebody like a Usher who found Justin Bieber, that kind of thing. Like
Exactly.
I want to mess with different genres. I want to play because I'm into all kind of music. And I don't want to be repetitive. Like we put out the same kind of music. I want to be surprised. I want people to be surprised by what we put out. Because like I said, I'm into different kinds of music. So I feel like a lot of people are like me. They don't want to just hear the same sound all the time.
I like that. I like that you say you want to manage different artists that
Yeah.
and that's dope that he came up to you. So that's what
Yeah.
pushed you to start managing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
He
never
came.
know where you might have been if he wouldn't have came up to you. That's dope.
There you
Have you ever had
go.
to
There you
turn an
go.
artist away?
Have I turned artists away? Mm, yeah, I
Not
have a couple artists I've had to just because we didn't seem to see the same vision. There was an artist in particular that I was thinking about signing, but I usually run these test trials before I sign an artist. It's kind of like I have to kind of see how they're moving.
yeah.
I have to ask, find out from other people, some of their peers, how is this person? How do they move? I have to see what their online presence is. And there's been a couple of times where I thought an artist I was gonna have to sign or have the opportunity to sign an artist and it just fell through. Or just a couple of artists, like you said, I just like, we don't really do that over here. Like, I draw the line that I'm not really into the Molly popping and the gun shooting, gun toting and
Yeah.
all that. Like that ain't what I do. So I'm not gonna promote that. You know what I'm saying? There's a like I said, there's a family vibe to what I want to do as far as a manager, but like things that's just and I'm just being real. Things that's destructive to our community, I really ain't with it as far as promoting it.
That's good to hear. So if you
Yeah,
out there and you doing all that drugs and guns, don't come up to him
yeah.
talking about
Nah,
let manage me. You gotta come correct.
nah.
Don't come
Come
at all.
correct, baby. Come correct, man. I mean, that's what it is. And like I said, especially this year, it should show us that we just need, we need to kind of pull together and do something go a whole nother direction, and it's cool because, I like the vibe. And sometimes you just don't want a message in a record. Sometimes you just want to ride that wave and if it's got
Yeah.
sauce or whatever. But, there comes a time where you just want something that's real, something that you can really feel. And that's the music I'm trying to, get behind. And like I said, this year should really show us that, hey, we got to stick together. All we really have right now, so we just need to, I'm really promoting that positivity right now.
I love that. We need
Yeah,
positivity in the world. So I really
yeah,
love that.
no doubt.
What's next for your management company? I know you said you have a song that you're gonna push in December.
Yeah,
What else can we
yeah.
see for the beginning of 2021? Hopefully
Uh,
performances. Hopefully this
so
the state,
performances,
the
yeah,
USA
we
is
got.
open. Hopefully.
Yeah, right. I want to do some. I still want to put together our own internet, our kind of podcast shows. I'm actually part of myself. I'll be doing like appearing on a show, Music Marvels. I'll be doing a little commentary on there now myself, every now and again. That's an internet radio show, and also what you expect for the labels. I want to get into like writing movies,
Ooh,
films. I want to
nice.
get into like films. Yeah, that's always been one of my goals. I wanted to write a script and do scripts and look at scripts. I just want to expand my company. I don't want to just be music. And you got more great music to come. I mean, like I say, Eternal Might, Royalty of the North is another group that I manage. They'll be coming out late 2020, early 2021. And you know, just more great music, and like I said, more great videos. So we got a video rap for "Do What I Want." That's next up. And so, you know, the music just keeps coming. But like I said, I want to expand. So you'll be seeing movies, different projects, short films, and stuff like that from the company too. You know, we don't want to just be one dimensional out here. So
We look forward to hearing your artists, your movies, your music, the music videos, and all that
yeah,
great stuff. Before we let you
yeah.
go,
Mm.
I have a new segment that I started on my show. It's called Talk Your Stuff. This is where if you
Okay.
anything on your chest you want to get off, you can talk about it, whether it's positive, whether it's negative. It could be somebody you want to promote. It could be you saw something
Excuse
happen
me.
to you. Like I gotta speak on it. Whatever you want to speak on it, talk your stuff. This is your
Oh
time.
man.
You
Okay.
can,
Excuse me. Let me think. Talk myself. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna get political for a minute. So,
do it.
um, you know, we got all this. Everybody's like anti this, anti that, anti Trump, anti whatever. You know, it's been said, and I'm just gonna say this: we need to, um, we need the ownership in our community before we can start talking about we want some political candidate to save us. We need ownership. Stop thinking about what somebody else can do for you, who can get you on, who can sign you. We need to own. It's no time for we out here looking for a savior. We're looking for somebody who, you know, gonna make our life better. We need to be owning our everything from our stores in our community to our music to radio stations. That's the only way things are gonna turn around. That's the only way people will see us in a different light. Because anytime somebody else is owning something and we want to be a part of their program, then they're gonna portray you. They're gonna portray us like they want to portray us. So we
Yeah.
need to own. You know, it's time. It's time in 2020, going into 2021, for us to own and own our own stuff and control our own destiny. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people asking for other people for help. Like we asking for the wrong people's help. We asking for handouts. It's time for us to do for ourselves and come together and build something finally that's ours and our community and beyond. Period. That's what time it is now. You know, so I'm trying to inspire people, and I'm hoping everybody else is inspired by that. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to own our images out here and what we putting out here because we're looking crazy right now. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, get it. Talk your stuff. Get it. We do. We need
Yeah.
to own. You heard that? OWN. Own everything. Own your stuff. Even your music.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, own your beats.
There you go.
No
Yeah,
more
on your
YouTube
beats.
beats. No,
Right,
no more
right. No,
YouTube.
right. No more YouTube. No more YouTube
Or
and beats. You gotta
SoundCloud
own
beats.
it.
Or these free little
Right.
beats from wherever these sites are.
Right. Exactly. Ownership. You know, it's too
Own it.
much. It's yeah. Own it. That way you can control. You can control. You can profit off of it, and you can control how it gets put out there. When somebody else owns it and you're just a part of it, then you have to. They control what people see and what people hear. You know, as simple as that. So in this time, you know, we need to just own our destiny. You know, own our destiny and support your own. We always out here. You know, we go out of our way. One more thing, we go out of our way to go support somebody else. And I'll be honest, like just in my situation, I feel like people who know me, who are familiar with me, I'll never be their favorite artist because they grew up with me. Instead, they want to go support somebody out there outside our community, or they want to go support somebody they don't even know halfway across the world. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, instead of promoting that and supporting their own. You know, that's the one thing in our community we don't support our own. At least not
Yeah,
like we should. At least not like we not at least not like we should anyway. So
I
that's what
agree.
I'm promoting right now. Yeah.
I do 100%. We don't. We need to own our stuff and start supporting each other like they did back
Yeah.
in the day. I don't
There
know,
you
it got
go.
lost somewhere, but hopefully we. But I feel like it's slowly coming back. I feel
Hmm.
like since this pandemic and since the president election is slowly coming back.
Yeah, people see, like I said, people see that like either side you pick, how different will your life really be? Well, you know, it's not gonna really, it's not gonna make that bigger difference. But like I said, if you have if you don't look for somebody else to save you, then it's about like saving yourself and owning what you can own and having direction over what you can have direction. That way you control your life more so than somebody else. That's all it is.
And also, I feel like if you have the knowledge or something, share it. I feel like sometimes we have the knowledge and we just want to keep it to ourselves.
That's real, right? That's real. That's real. Share. We don't want to share that. Right, exactly. But we don't want to empower each other because we're afraid that person, they get empowered, then they're gonna be above us. That's where that's it. That's where that is. And that's why I said with this, what I'm trying to do, I feel good when I see somebody make it, so to speak, or somebody do something great and I had a hand in it. I get satisfaction off of that. I'm a unifier. I like to unify, people. I'm not, if I got some game, I give the game, I get that game because I want to see that person succeed.
Well, thank you, J. Erve, for being on U3. It's always a pleasure to have.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
The first manager I've had on my show. So.
Oh, okay. I may set a trend then. Hey, we may set a trend then, huh?
You are the first manager on my show. Managing
That's great. That's great.
Big things out there in the cold Chicago. If you ever need to
Wendy.
Come to Texas, we hot all the time.
Hey.
But before we let you go,
give us
your social media links so we can link up with you and connect with some of your artists.
Sure. On IG, we're Charles and Trumbull on IG. If people still on Facebook, we got a Charles and Trumbull artist page on there as well. We got it on YouTube. We're Charles and Trumbull Music Group. Charles and Trumbull Music Group, just like it sounds. And the Trumbull is spelled with an I, not an E. So it's Trumbull. And I named it after streets I grew up on. Charles and Trumbull, the streets I grew up on. So that's my company. Okay. So check that out on YouTube, IG, Facebook, and on Twitter. If people use that, I'm under James Eternal. So, we're everywhere online. We invite people to come and check us out. The music is great. We're doing some big things, some great things, and some positive things. So I appreciate you having me on the show and being a part of this. And I U3 Radio, that's where it's at.
You're welcome. Anytime you want to come back or bring your artists, just let me know. We definitely will have you guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're welcome. For sure. Anytime.
I appreciate that.
DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and we are signing.
I got bars, ayy. I'm the man in the party. If you're broke, then I'm sorry. Hustler day of the week. That's when no one can compete. I gotta eat either which way, in or out of the streets. What you know about struggling? Bounce big, then double it. Making moves with the government. Thotty's cheap about a dozen. Hit it and exit the door. Don't know her name, but she go. Swerving, then pass her the pro. That's a give and go. This is my year and I know if you hating, that's just cause you broke. You rappers a joke, I do what I want, I do what they don't. Don't need no love, I just want the dough. Diamonds so wet, they can straight off the boat. Whole team about it, they all train to go. It's B-A-N if you didn't know. Don't love no thotties, we just want the throat. We chasing that big and anything you want, anything you want. I got a mix, I do what I want, I do what I want. They don't wanna see me winning, watch you prove them all wrong, watch you prove them all wrong. Real street, put my whole team on, put my whole team on. Chasing that big and anything you want, anything you want. I got a mix, I do what I want, I do what I want. They don't wanna see me winning, watch you prove them all wrong, watch you prove them all wrong. Real street, put my whole team on, put my whole team on.
you know you're the one for me. These other guys got no clue. It's always gonna be me and you. See, here's the funny thing. I see right through the they say. Honestly, loyalty's not their way. I keep it moving, no time to play.
Bro, we chasing that big and anything you want, anything you want. I got a mix, I do what I want, I do what I want. They don't wanna see me winning, watch you prove more wrong, watch you prove more wrong. Real street, put my whole team on, my whole team on. We chasing that big and anything you want, anything you want. I got a mix, I do what I want, I do what I want. They don't wanna see me winning, watch you prove more wrong, watch you prove more wrong. Real street, put my whole team on, my whole team on.
Out.